Previously on the adventures in Ovavarden.
On a stormy night, deep in the marchlands, sits the farming town of Briar Green. In the cosy tavern of the Green Fingers Post, 3 unknowing adventurers were soon to be tested in battle. As the night drew on, the town was suddenly raided by a large group of bandits who stole money, women, and anything of value. After a short scuffle, the 2 Goliaths and a tiefling found themselves hired by the gnome innkeeper Dane Mudfoot. He asked them to track down these brutes, who had kidnapped his daughter and other women of the town. The next morning, the group set out in the direction of the mountain, where the tracks had been spotted. Over the next few hours, the group found themselves coming across strange bodies littered in the clearing. These bodies were of a rat-like folk, the Vestaka. Approaching a cave, they found the remaining brigands surrounded by several of these rat folk. A fight ensued, and though Kuri and Augen survived, unfortunately Jakai, the tiefling, was felled by a spear through the chest from one of these Vestaka. Venturing into the cave, they found a group of women, bound and terrified. Leading these women back to Briar Green, the last 2 remaining Goliaths of the group were greeted by a dwarf named Astus Steelshaper and a human errant knight, Berengar Thrain. Berengar explains that he had been hired to track these bandits, and that they belonged to an organisation called the Scarlet Hook. Berengar asks the adventurers to join him, as he knows of a fort to the north which they are using as a base of operations. As he explains this, a halfling woman named Lana approaches and asks to join the group to take vengeance on the Scarlet Hook. The next day, the group move out to the north and make their way up the road to the Red Fort. Approaching the fort, they stumble across an Etin looking for an easy meal. The fight was quick, as Berengar shows exactly how experienced he is. He dispatches the Etin easily. The party find 2 young members of the Scarlet Hook, who were posted as a watch for the fort. They are convinced to leave the gang and to head back to Briar Green to help repair and repay the town. Approaching the fort, Lana forms herself into a large spider and climbs up the wall and easily dispatches 2 of the guards. As the rest of the group storm the front gate, a quick fight takes place as arrows whistle through the air and swords clang. Once dispatched, the group move into the main single building of the fort. They find their leader of this fort, Lieutenant Lionel Blake. This combatant proves difficult for the party, but they manage to corner him and cut him down. Scattered around the room are several notes and letters. The names Bardock Bloodfist and Daniel Breecook are mentioned. A letter from Bardock says, "Sent you a new group of young uns. Hope they ain't as shitty as the last lot. Hook will have my head if they is. Bellastad is getting thin on recruits. Might have to move on to Morninggate and set up there. We'll let Breecook know. See what he says." A letter from Daniel Breecook. "The buyers are getting impatient, Blake. They want 20 girls by the next moon. Ships will not be travelling when winter hits, and they need to be delivered to me soon. Hook shall be hearing of this. Also, that idiot Bardock wants to move his recruitment to Morninggate. This I disagree with, as the travel between here and there is 3 times the journey. No matter how much better the recruits are, that will give us a delay we just cannot afford." Berengar offers them a chance to help and to hunt down this Bardock Bloodfist. He sends the party down south as he goes searching for this Daniel Breacock. Heading south, they pass through Briar Green to find that repairs have already started, and the 2 young people they sent here are helping repair the burned houses from the raid. On the road, they come across a group of travelling homeless and decide to camp for the night. They share food and tales, and in the dead of night, these homeless attack the party. But one, an elf, blasts them away with fiery magic. Arkan Vanderveer explains he did not know they were going to attack and had not been travelling with them for long. He joins the party and heads south with the group. A few days south, the party comes across a small village which has been stricken by a plague. They are told it all started from the mill just outside the village. Upon investigating the mill, they find a man with a skull mask on and a gnarled staff surrounded by undead peasants. Once dispatched, they see a small homestead not far from the mill. Approaching the hovel, they see a family waiting to greet them, but after Augen storms through the gate towards the house, he sees an illusion of the house has been cast, and the 3 cultists standing there, sacks over their heads, and the house is in ruins. Inspecting the house, they find a trapdoor leading to an underground complex, finding many strange and worrying things down here. They fight their way through to a room with a huge abomination, which is called a champion of Boralix, the god of decay. After a long and arduous fight, they dispatch this creature and continue on their journey to Velestad. Seeing signs of the plague on their way, they know this will not be the end of the matter. Entering Velestad city, they find a room for the night and seek out Bardock. The Scarlet Hook have a massive compound here, and find out that Bardock has moved on and left his second-in-command behind, Luther Hadrin. This red-skinned elf from the Red Isle wishes to take over the city from Bardock, and he hires the group to take out 4 of Bardock's most trusted men that remain in the city. There is Devlin the Accuser, the gang's torturer, Gralmar Thornshield, the local organisation's blacksmith, Graylin the Strong, a Goliath enforcer, and Gurok the Dim, another enforcer, but an orc this time. They one by one take out these members with plans of trickery and pure brute strength, and are rewarded with a few magic items. And Luther gives them directions to where Bardock is travelling to, and the route he should be taking. Gathering enough supplies for the 2-week trip to Morninggate, the party buy fur tents and make their way out of the city. The roads are deserted due to the heavy snowfall that has recently hit the lands, and all farming and trade seems to have ground to a halt.
Head over to episode 1 to see how the story continues. Please like and subscribe for more D&D content.